All right, story trading VIPs. I'm going to do a little session here on air because, man, I'm tired of typing all day. I don't feel like updating that, the story trade idea. Take some effort. Maybe I'll have that updated by tomorrow morning. So let me give you my thoughts on this and technicals. All right. First of all, the technicals. Look, I only consider technicals when I understand the fundamentals and catalyst and sentiment behind it. So often what happens if you're only looking at technicals, if you don't understand the significance of the news, what do you do at those critical levels? Like right here. I'm sorry, it's the level we gave you is 1427 was our target, right? We gave that to you yesterday. We're at that target. What do you do at 1427 if you're a technical trader? It's really hit or miss, right? Are you buying the breakout at 1428? Are you selling the resistance at 1427? Which way is it going to go? You really don't know if you're a pure technical trader, and you can easily get on the wrong side of it and end up buying at a peak. Right? If that 1427 is going to end up being resistance, you think it broke out at 1428. It's very complicated, and I don't like that. It's not intellectually appealing to me the way technical traders trade. What I do is interpret today's catalyst. What's the impact of that catalyst on sentiment and fundamentals? And then make a prediction. Are we going to break over 1427? Now, I will get to that press release in a second, but I'm going to jump to the conclusion now and tell you that yes, this catalyst is significant enough that I believe we will break this resistance at 1427. And then what do you have next? The next resistance, I think I'm eyeing towards the 200-week moving average at 1692. I know there's a gap here. Let's see what this gap is. At the low of that is 1387. It kind of already filled the gap, really. The open was 1443. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's so significant. I think you basically fill the gap anyway at 1427, and then your next target is that 1692 at the 200-week moving average. So now let's talk about why. Why? What's so significant about this catalyst? First of all, there was some speculation out there that this would be another quarterly miss, right? That we haven't seen the rebound in EV yet. They've had a track record of missing the last few quarters. Let me switch to the daily here. You can see these earnings reports. Looking at 3 earnings reports in a row, disappointing 1, 2, 3. All right, so disappointment going into this one. So the fact that they beat on the top line, even though it was 1 million, you get a relief right there, meaning the stock was undervalued from a fundamental perspective, right? The sentiment was so low that the market value was being punished because of the expectation of another miss in the future. Now that's reversed on its head, right? So right away, I think that's enough, fodder there for this to break 1427. All right, not only that, that reversal of that sentiment, by the way, we have 7 days to cover 6 million shares short. But the other thing is, now you're taking this revenue beat and you're parlaying it right into the future excitement of all the future business that they mentioned on the press release, including AI. I think this thing's gone. I've been buying in after hours. My position's not big enough. I don't think I can get big enough. This is something I'd be willing to hold 10% of. I guess some of you, I don't do big positions anymore. There used to be a time in my life I used to do 20, 30, 40% positions. Now, like a big position for me is 5%, and my max positions are around 7%, right? I'm around 7% right now, but for this one, I feel like I could be a 10% position, but I don't really have what to sell here in after hours to make it to 10. I'll take another look and see, because I'd have to sell like liquid mega caps and stuff, and I'm not sure I want to be doing that. But who knows? If there's an opportunity, I'll look at it tonight for me to keep buying more to get to 10%. I feel very confident. I think this is a inflection point ER, and that's what we look for. Inflection point catalyst at story trading, all right, to change the sentiment, turn that sentiment on its head, and now we can predict that 1427 will break. That's how we do it at story trading.
Happening story trading family. You guys could have made money like this today. Let's swing on over to Ben and let's see what he has to say.
Today was another incredible day at story trading. Not only did we have this big winner in Hawaiian Electric up 11%, stock option recommendation we made was up 150%, but AEHR, AEHR, up 14.5% in after hours. It's at 1421. Well, check this out. In our Discord community right here, under trade ideas, I made AEHR an official story trading pick. It was actually called out in the main trading lounge at about 9:39 a.m. An hour later, we made it official with a full write-up here, 10:39. Check out these story trade ideas. How we do it here. The story trading style, we have something called the 4 pillars. It's catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. And you can see that right here. What we do is we take the catalyst, we say, how's that catalyst going to impact sentiment? How's it impact fundamentals? We triangulate with technicals, and we give you the thesis and the price target. Yesterday morning, price target 1427. The price at the time was $12.17. We hit that on the nose here at after hours right now at 1427. Join our story trading community right now. We have an update already for you on air. What's going to happen next?
Man, Ben and the team absolutely nailed it today, as you just saw. But here's the best part. Right now, you can become part of...
They have earnings coming up in, let's see when it is. Oh, July 16th, very soon. 2 weeks? Yes. They have earnings coming up in less than 2 weeks, okay? And I don't have time to rehash the whole thesis. However, the reason I want to bring it up today is because that huge move that Tesla had, it may start bringing attention back to air. A lot of people, I would say maybe even 90% of traders, all right, don't know anything really about the air business other than its association with Tesla. I'm in it for AI right now. Nothing to do with Tesla and EVs, okay? So potentially you can see money flowing back in from Tesla, from people making money in Tesla, both from the fact that they now have some profits they can put elsewhere, and because of sentiment, if Tesla's up, maybe air should be up. So something to keep an eye on. Picks. And then during the day, Tesla. Wow, we gave you a timely prediction on Tesla at 193. I think the breakout level is like 192.80, something like that, that we called out in the morning, that if it breaks that level, boom, game on. It did break that level, and I added Tesla back personally in my retirement account, and we added it to the model portfolio, which we'll go over in just a second, at 193 with a target of 199 to 207. This is so easy. This breakout was like, are you kidding me? That was the most obvious thing. Like yesterday I was talking about, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like guaranteed to hit at least 198.87 and very likely to hit that 200 DMA. I gave it a timeline. I'm like, either today through Tuesday. And it looks like it could very well happen today. So Tesla, happy to be back in my retirement account after being out of it for some time. So Tesla looking good. Those are the two big levels, 199 and then roughly 207. If you dig in, you can see. Let's move on. All right. Tesla, we added this. What a beautiful chart. We gave you two targets. The first target hit on Friday. That was the top of this candle here, 198.87, 199, I think we rounded up to. So we got that first target for you, 199 on the second target was the 200 DMA. This candle right here, that would be 217.80. We're above that right now. The next that next candle there on the weekly, the next candle is 223. So this looks like it's getting the 220s. 230.96 might be in play here.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, we're finally here after all of that. Wow, this is going to be exciting. Got a nice, exciting show for you here with Rhett Foster from the story trading community. We got the Godfather Knows here from the story trading community. Where am I going to start, man? This is crazy. You know where I'm going to start? Everyone makes fun of my hair, all right? So I'm going to tell you this. I've been doing this with my hair for 30 years, and all of you on social media keep making fun of it. You know why this hairstyle is great? All you got to do every morning, whenever you need to freshen up, you take a little bit of water. Take a little bit of water, all right? And you get this gel right here from CVS, great gel, just like this. And look at this. This is just beautiful. That's all you got to do. Done. 10 seconds, 30 seconds. This has been my hairstyle for 30 years, and it's going to be my hairstyle for the next 30 years. So if you haven't tried it yet, you might want to try it, folks. It's the best hairstyle there is. All right. Now, guys, are you there? Rhett, can I get your mics on?
Yep, we're all here.
Godfather, you there? Let's see if Godfather gets on here. Wow.
Yeah, here.
Oh, you're here. Beautiful. All right.
I love the hair. A little hair envy here.
I'm going to see if I can, let me see if I can keep everyone's audio on, but not the video, because I want to zoom into my screen for 1 second. Let's see. You know, maybe I'll come back to you, the Godfather. So we're going to come. I want to show this. We'll come back to you in just a second. Want to update AEHR. Our top 3 picks today were AEHR, Hawaiian Electric, and VKTX. All right, VKTX. Let's talk about those 3, and then we'll bring you back on, the Godfather. Okay. All right, here we go. So AEHR, Hawaiian Electric, and VKTX. Let me just show you how we do this here in our Discord community. We got a channel here for trade ideas. You go into trade ideas, and we post these trade ideas in this very unique format. So take a look at AEHR. This is the updated one. This was let me take you to yesterday morning, two mornings ago. All right, 2 mornings ago, we posted our thesis on AEHR right over here. Okay. Now, at story trading, we have a very, very unique and rewarding style of trading stocks. We look not only at catalysts, let me start with this. Most traders out there are either technical traders or fundamental investors. Now, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I went through everything. I've done pure technical trading, fundamental investing. I did headline trading, sentiment trading, and I found the thing that works best is appreciating all of those market participants, right? Everyone's out there doing all these styles. And if you want to understand price action, you want to understand why stock is where it's trading at right now, you have to appreciate all of that. So it's story trading. We have the 4 pillars, which is catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. We start with the catalyst. We take that catalyst, and with all of the experience and the research we've done in fundamentals, we say, what impact will that catalyst have on sentiment first? Sentiment more important than fundamentals. What impact will that catalyst have on fundamentals? And then if we say, okay, it's going to have a net positive impact or a net negative impact, or ideally, it's an inflection point catalyst, which turns the bear theses on its head. Then you turn to the technicals and you say, okay, here's our price target. That's our methodology at story trading. And it's uncanny how accurate it is. Rhett, you've been in here in our community for like a month or 2 months since you've joined us. Just tell everyone what you think of this methodology and how accurate it's been.
I mean, I think it's very accurate. I mean, it goes day after day, week after week since the past couple months I've been in here of we're having daily consistent wins with on average. I mean, we're averaging over 70, 80% almost on every single day. And sometimes we're even 100%. And then, I mean, but some of the other gains too, it's like some other communities you get 5, 10, 20% gains. With us, like you can average 50% gains first 30 minutes. Like Ben's picks are very accurate. They're right on the money, especially right out the gate. So if you really hop on those early, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, and obviously no guarantees. We're not right 100% of the time, right? You can be right 99% of the time, but if you get into this, oh my gosh, Ben's always right, then you put all in every single time. Guess what? You get wiped out. You go bankrupt. You go to zero, right? So even we're not right 99% of the time, probably like 70 or 80%, but you always have to manage your risk. Now look at AIR. Look at this prediction we put out July 8th, 10:39 a.m. We actually posted it in our main trading lounge an hour earlier. We said we got to make AIR an official idea right now at 9:39. An hour later, by the time I wrote it up, it was still good. Current price, $12.17. Look at that target, $14.27. I'm going to come back to the chart in a second. Let me show you how we do it. We consider the catalyst. This one was an ER anticipation run. So ER coming next week with expectation to provide positive guidance on AI pilots. Well, we did a lot of research on this. We posted all over social media in our community with the AI business that they're starting to get into. Now, sentiment has been very low. This is what's important to remember on EV demand, because EV demand has been low for them and they've missed 3 quarters in a row. So that's part of the reason the stock has been down. Fundamentals, very cheap. 25 forward PE will prove to be very low if AI pilot programs turn to production orders. All right, yada, yada. We do the technical analysis. We give you a target of 1427. Check this out. All right, our target was 1427. Go into here. And this happens so freaking often. Last night, this thing, and where did it close at last night? 425 bid, 1430 ask. Right on the money, 1427. And then we gave our community an update, which we played. If you came early, you got the update. And actually, I'll show it to you here. Sneak peek. If you're not part of our story trading community, there's a video update in here from last night. But in addition to the video update, we took that story trading thesis. There's these little cards. Here's the video update from last night. We take those little cards and we gave you a new one on air. All right. And we'll get to our third pick, VKTX for the day. Our first pick too. Our second pick, HE. Anyway, AEHR. We updated this. We said 1427 prior target hit in after hours. Next is 1690 with the whole thesis there. Well, let's see how we did today. Well, we got to 1643. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So that was air. All right. And I'm not going to go into the full thesis from here. You got to be part of the story trading community to learn more about that. And then this pick yesterday was crazy. Did you play he? You should have played Hawaiian Electric Red. Did he play it?
Oh yeah, I played it. I made a little over 100% returns on it, but nothing near as some of the other members made.
Yeah, that was fun. Look at this. Look at this HE right there. 2,000% gain. I was selling on the way up. I still think I have, that's just the remaining contracts I have, which is only 5 contracts I kept here. But HE, unbelievable. We gave you the alert yesterday at the price was $9.18. No, $7.18. Where was the price? $8.18 or something. The price was, I think, $8.18. Yeah. It was $8.18 when we gave you the alert on he. All right. But again, how we do it, we had time even for a second trade on the second day. So it was a very fast thing. We gave you the thesis. There was some news out there. All right. But then we wrote it up here in the afternoon. HE long, hold it overnight, overnight trade. Initiated at 819, current price 857. Target 1 was 883 to 915. Target 2, 970. Let's see how we did with that. Overshot our target, 1065. Not bad. That's why I'm mostly out for right now, but I have some long-term shares. And again, yeah, you see the format is getting better over here. We give you icons for catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. You can check that out. So beautiful. Third pick of the day, and then we're going to get over to the Godfather. VKTX. Oh my gosh, this is just beautiful too. VKTX, we gave this late last night, 1025. Story trading idea. Target 1, 58.26. After a break of 55.29. How did we do on that? Let's take a look. VKTX. Let's zoom in. 50. What did I say? Rhett, what did I say the target was? 58.26. All right. You can see how it pulled back at 58.20. I actually sold like 10 to 20% of my shares right there at near 58.20. Close enough. I don't always wait for the penny. If we get close enough, I start selling. So 58.20, we pulled back. Then we broke target one. Let's see what happens after target one. 61.50 is your target now. Now, the beautiful thing, again, the beautiful thing about this is it's based on understanding the market, understanding the psychology of the other investors out there, right? This catalyst that's coming up. How's the rest of the market? What's the sentiment that these investors have? What's the impact on fundamental investors, right? You take all of that and then you have a technical target. I actually just want to show you one thing on air, which I was very animated on this morning. Check this out, right? Unlike technical traders, sometimes we'll say cut something at support, like we had with a couple trade ideas recently. Which one was it? It was like TSN. I forgot which one it was. But sometimes we cut at support, right? But other times, like today, when you have an inflection catalyst, now this is really important. Look at the technicals. I say any sell-off to support. I said there could be always the risk of a gap fill on good news, 1241. Any sell-off to support levels should be bought. Do not use stop losses. Any breach of supports will not last long and will be reclaimed to the upside. This is the edge you get in our Discord. You do not get anywhere else. Check out what happened on air right over here. Okay, this thing dove to 1382. Some people are like, oh my gosh, it's below the pre-market level, below some support. I got to bail. I'm a technical trader. We were buying the heck out of the thing. We actually had a real-time alert in our community on air to buy that dip. And in fact, that's where someone posted they bought that dip right there. Bought the dip. Good call. A quick 33% is probably still holding that and up higher on that. So that was amazing. All right. Top 3 picks of the day. We put these out, blurred out on social media, on air, Hawaiian Electric and VKTX last night. If you're part of the community, you benefited from it. I have so much other stuff to talk about. But Rhett, any final words before I bring in the Godfather?
No, I think you pretty much covered it all.
All right, hang in there, Rhett. We're going to come back to you. I'm going to bring the Godfather up right now. Godfather knows. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
All right, Godfather. He is a contributor in our community. If you follow the Godfather, you want to join our Discord community, head on over to his special link. It's storytrading.com/The Godfather Knows. If you came in through our community, you know us, you follow me, head on over to storytrading.com/Discord to upgrade through us. But in any case, the Godfather, you've had a lot of crazy picks. You've also helped us a lot with fundamental analysis. You gave us a little push on the Hawaiian Electric when we gave that idea to you in the afternoon. You were like, yeah, the fundamentals check out. So if you want, you can start there. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll move into some of your other picks here that are doing well today.
Yeah, well, briefly on Hawaiian Electric, I mean, the story is pretty simple. Fundamentally, it's worth $30 to $40 if you look at it relative to its peers. Obviously, it's trading, based on sentiment, and the big unknown, of course, is what are the lawsuits going to ultimately end up costing Hawaiian Electric, and we don't know. But there's definitely been a sentiment shift here. That's what was traded. If we do start trading based on fundamentals, it's a further multiple from here. So, it's one of those ones where it's about the sentiment more than about the fundamentals right now. So
yeah,
good to have those back it up. But this is about trading momentum and trading the sentiment, and getting in and getting out fast until we know definitively.
And I like how you divided it like that. I sold, I would say 75% of my shares and options on that sentiment trade, but I'm holding on to like 20% or so. I even have some December call options in case this thing gets settled or whatever. This could end up being a $30, $40, $50 stock. Let me see if I can hold on to it. It's so tempting to take quickly, but I already made all the money. Even if I lose the money on December, I'm good. So anyway, that's Hawaiian Electric. You've had some really good picks. TGTX, I'm noting, looking really good. Chorus has been a big one.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because it's breaking out to the upside right now. This thing has a short position. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you. I'm just commenting on how gorgeous that started.
So the short position is approaching 25% on this thing. It's been clear watching the trading that they've been trying to keep it under the $20 level. We finally got a break of that today. It looks like it's the sustained break that we were looking for. So as expected, shorts are starting to chase this thing higher. They have an MS drug with a different mode of action than existing drugs, also easier in terms of infusion times, and talking about 50% growth in earnings next year over this year.
Wow.
To take them around 470 million, I think is consensus estimate for next year. Peak
nice.
forecasts are that drug will do about $1 billion plus. So, the fundamentals are definitely there. It's not a super cheap stock. It's trading around 7 times EV to sales for next year, but I think the numbers are likely low if you look at.
Are there are there any
forth.
catalysts? Tell me about catalysts. Are there any catalysts coming up, or just
Yeah,
happened? Any proximal catalysts?
It's all about tracking the scripts, right, for the MS drug. That's really it. They've had some big strategic wins. The Veteran Affairs contract, for example, there's possibility of more of those. They signed an agreement for international expansion. They got paid 150 million up front, and there's some milestones. So those could be additional catalysts. But the fundamentals, I think, were pretty well understood by the market. These guys are taking market share with their drug away from
Looks
the
like they
incumbents.
have earnings. Sorry to interrupt you. It looks like they have earnings on August 2nd. Or July 30th. I'm sorry. Looks like they have earnings on July 30th. Are you expecting, or is it possible we get like a beat and raise out of this quarter?
So we did get that the last quarter, and management's been pretty good at tempering expectations. They raised their guidance from a range of 250 to 260 for this year, sales to a range of 270 to 290. I'm using 320 in my model. Either way, you're talking about 200% plus growth over last year, and again, consensus sits at around 50% for next. So, the fundamental picture is pretty clear. Really, it's been about the technicals. Everyone's been watching that $20 level. It's failed numerous times, and finally it's there. And we've got that short interest tailwind. So
yeah, that's beautiful.
Those are the things
we
that
have
I look
CPI.
for.
We also have CPI coming tomorrow. I've been talking about on my last 2 pre-market prep shows. Part of our Discord, I do a pre-market prep every morning at 9 a.m. I've been talking about that underneath IWM. I'm seeing signs that maybe the market's expecting a light CPI tomorrow, and we're going to take off, and that'll help lots of stocks and our growth stocks, biotech stocks, everything like that. So tomorrow is an important day, and you could really see TGTX explode to the upside on that. But I took a little up. I don't want to get into the. I usually don't do options, but I can't. I've sold some TGTX this morning to buy like air early in the morning, and I'm not allowed to buy it back because of my account type. I can't, whatever. But I bought. I replaced those shares right now with some August 2nd 1950 calls for $2.05. Let's see what happens. This chart's beautiful. All right, that's
my job is to make sure you don't sell too early, Ben. Remember,
I always sell too early.
You always sell too early.
I always sell too early. Always sell too early. Except for Hawaiian Electric, I did top tick like a 2,000% gain on those options I bought for like 7 cents or something. I sold them for, I don't know, a lot, like $1.30 or something. That was fun. Okay. Let's see. What else we got going on? So we covered TGTX. How about, I know you've been talking about cores a lot. So
yeah,
cores,
I'd like to touch on 2 AI second derivative themes if I could.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the first is this transition by some of the Bitcoin miners to high performance compute, and Bernstein sort of set the stage with their new research report that came out late yesterday, talking about IREN and Core as the 2 sort of leaders in doing this. They're talking about IREN moving some 15% of their megawatts mining capacity to high performance compute. The leader has been Cores. They've signed about $4.7 billion worth of contracts with CoreWeave, which is a company invested in by NVIDIA. Essentially the 2 bottlenecks for high performance compute for AI applications have been, first it was the chips a year ago, and now it's switched to power. And these Bitcoin miners are in this perfect situation of a lot of them having either existing or options on low powered low cost power. In general, they're around 4 cents a megawatt. Standard power rates are closer to 8 to 9. So it's having access to the power or the contracts in the future to access the power, as well as the infrastructure. And these guys have the infrastructure in place. The cooling is the same that's needed, etc. The racks, all the rest of that. So it's like a big time savings to go and convert some of these Bitcoin mining facilities to high performance compute. So brownfield versus greenfield. So these are stable cash flows. Stable cash flows get higher multiples than Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining has obviously been affected by the halving as well. So we've seen it this year. We've seen the guys that have transitioned earlier or announced plans to the market that they're going to do it. The Wolves, the Irons, the Cores, the Hives, the Huts, outperforming the Riots and the Maras of the world. I see that continuing. The one thing I'll note on the Bernstein report, which really was an eye-opener to me, is that if you look at the valuations that are currently being subscribed to these names versus the incumbent data centers like Equinix and what's the other one? DLR. Digital Realty. The difference is eightfold. Those names are being valued at around $32 million per megawatt, and the others, we're talking about the Cores and the Irons of the world, around $4. So there's a huge arbitrage there. This is a trend that I think is going to continue. I love investing in things that have an AI tailwind. This is one. The other one that I'd like to talk about quickly
Air
is
has Air has an AI tailwind too.
Yeah, and that's a good segue because one of the things that was in the Air press release talking about where they're making an impact or will or expect to earn some contracts in the future for their test equipment is on optical transceivers. These things have high failure rates, but they're integral to data centers in terms of switching the data to be transmitted through light waves. Obviously, we know through physics that nothing travels faster than light. And this is the other bottleneck that I want to talk about with the data centers. It's, talked about power. The other is transmission speed. And so it's starting to migrate more and more to optical. And there aren't that many players in the optical transceiver market. The leader is Coherent. And, if you look at Stan Druckenmiller's ads in the first quarter of this year, he added a position in Coherent. I think it was $150 million. His biggest single ad. This guy, I don't think I have to tell you, is almost always right. He's also almost always early. Take a look at the Coherent chart, COHR, nice, bottom left to upper right. This is the quality name. The other name, which funny enough is trading at almost 10 turns higher, is Lite, L-I-T-E. And the stock has gapped up just in the last 7 trading days, about $7. But Coherent trades cheaper. I own 2 names in this group. One is Coherent because I like to own the market leader. I like to own what Stan Druckenmiller is owning. And the other one is Applied Optoelectronics. Now, Applied Optoelectronics kind of reminds me about Air.
What's the ticker symbol on that?
AAOI.
A what?
AAOI.
AAOI. So this name is completely new to me. I know you've been talking about it on the Discord. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. Let me throw it up on my top watch list. Let me just, before you dive into it, let me see if I can give my quick little first impression on this. You can see we're bucking up against the 20 DMA. So what I would like to know from you when I look at a chart like this is there any proximal catalyst, a catalyst that just happened or a catalyst that's coming up that it would enable us to predict if this 20-day moving average is going to break? And that also has to play into fundamentals and valuation. So I'll let you take it from here. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's about contract wins. And for these guys, the reason the chart looks the way it does is because there's a big credibility gap in the market. Management has for the last 2 to 3 quarters missed on their guidance. Their biggest customer is Microsoft and providing these optical transceivers to Microsoft. Now that business did 200 million run rate last year. They are guiding this year for their 800 gig product to do between 600 and 800 million. So 4x last year. The market doesn't believe them. If you look at consensus estimates, they're around 400. So there is the gap. And to the extent that any of that credibility gets built back into the stock,
there you go.
It's kind of like air missing the last quarter.
Exactly. That's the kind of story that I love. I love looking for these inflection point catalysts which flip the sentiment. Those are the most powerful catalysts. So if you go look left on a chart and you go do your research and you figure out why did this stock go from 25 to 7, and if you can identify the reason why it went to 25.7, and then you wait for that catalyst to flip that bear thesis on its head, those are the most powerful catalysts that will get you 15, 20, 30, 40% moves in a day and multiple hundreds of percent moves in a matter of months. So I like what I'm hearing from you, the Godfather. That's awesome. AAOI.
So, I would not buy this alone. I have it as a barbell, as a way to play this, second derivative of AI. And, they will get the benefit in their share price to the extent that some of the market leaders also meet their expectations, and I fully expect that they will. Coherent, for example, on their 800 gig product is saying that the second half is going to see volumes 3x what they put forth in the first half. Lumentum LITE that I just mentioned, they're saying they were just out saying their fiscal 25 is going to be 2x the run rate of orders that they saw in Q3. So it's clear that the data center infrastructure is moving more and more to optical. And interestingly enough, I have a friend that works for Morgan Stanley, and his focus is on providing power to these data centers. And he's talking about the fact that there's data center arbitrage that's happening. You put forth a request into ChatGPT, and they will route it to wherever it's the cheapest for them to crunch the compute to deliver an answer to your request. So the signals are moving all over the place. It's got to move cheaply. It's got to move fast. Nothing does that better than optical. So it's not just optical interconnects, within the data center themselves, but of course, between data centers. So I think that AAOI, I think of it as, the stake is the fundamental premise here that this part of the hardware AI cycle is going to see a big lift, and we know from all the market leaders that it's going to, starting the second half. That's the stake. AAOI is the sizzle. If you want a little bit of sizzle on your stake, buy some AAOI. Be great if they could actually meet their estimates. That would be double what the market's expecting. But I think you're going to get an amazing lift just by the market leaders, fulfilling.
That sounds great. I love those picks, The Godfather. If you want to follow The Godfather in our community, there's a special link over there. Right in the bottom, you see it going, storytrading.com/The Godfather knows. You can use that link to make sure he gets credit for that. You can follow him on Twitter, LS Mantle. Any final thoughts?
What else did we not talk about? Let me see. Oh, I have another name that I'd like to talk about.
You want to leave this last name for the community? If you want to hear about this last pick, all right, head on over to storytrading.com/The Godfather knows, and you'll get this last pick from The Godfather right over there. All right,
let's do it. It's an AI health intelligence company that's hitting an all-time high today.
Nice tease.
It's still extremely cheap. My fundamental valuation is the stock is trading at an all-time high, $32 right now. I see 50, and I see it before the end of the year.
That's the mystery ticker. All right, head on over. Thank you, The Godfather. Hang on, guys. Here we got on the other side. Going to just play a quick video, and on the other side of this, we're going to talk about a couple more story trading ideas here for you, and we have some coupon codes and everything for you to use, both for our Discord or for The Godfather. All right, just hang with us. Other side, 30 seconds.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
All right, we're back. We are with Rhett from the story trading community. Wow, what do you think of that interview?
Amazing. The Godfather always provides some amazing and incredible knowledge.
Awesome. Some good stuff over here. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a tease and a little bit of a more, just a couple more examples of how we give story trading ideas, how we think of them, how we deliver them, how they're formatted in the community. So in addition to our top 3 picks of the day, which were AEHR, HE, VKTX, top 3, I can't tell you how often that happens. We give you this in pre-market or the night before, and the thing, big open green candles, right? You can get tricked by a lot of people saying, oh, it's up like 30% or whatever. But if you look at it, it's down all day. You know how to figure that out quickly? You zoom into the daily and you see, is it an open green candle or a closed green candle? If it's an open green candle, that means it's higher now than at the open. So we have a tendency of getting lots of big open green candles like there, all right? And this one on VKTX. So our top 3 picks again, hitting it out of the park, 100% track record today. Now, we have some other trade ideas on still. Swing trades on Micron Technology, Snap, TSM, Palantir, SMCI. All right, I'm not going to go through all of these, but let's look at Snap for you. All right, let's head on over to our Discord community. We're going to go to our trade ideas room and do a little search for it. SNAP, so we can pull up that trade idea that was just posted a couple days ago here. Where is it? You see it? Snap, top picks today. There. Okay, story trading idea, right at the top. Story trade idea. All right. So here is our story trade idea for Snap, which was just initiated 3 days ago. This is also part of our model portfolio. It's just something we haven't even gotten a chance to talk to you about. But in any case, I'm also holding this long term, not trading it. But we added this as a trade idea here, as a swing. So you see the ticker symbol at the top, the direction, long or short, swing trade, target 1790 to mid to high 20s. Stocks at 1714 now. Catalyst, anticipation of earnings in early August, then even potentially holding at least some into the ER. The sentiment has been improved since an inflection ER last quarter. They disappointed quarter after quarter after quarter. And I have a rule, like, the trend is your friend until it's not, right? So if you beat last quarter, I'm going to assume you're going to beat again, all right? If you miss last quarter, I'm going to assume you miss again. So right now, and that usually works. It's not going to work 100% of the time, but it's a good rule of thumb. Now, fundamentals, there it is. After an extended period of disappointing ERs, last quarter was different as they beat on the top line and boasted re-accelerating growth. Technicals, obvious resistance at 1790. We'll go through it in a second. With sky blue above 1790 on the daily, it looks like a cup and handles forming while bouncing off the 50 DMA with a low RSI. Look for a run to at least 1790 before ER. All right, given ER beat last quarter, the market may run it to break this resistance before the report. Another quarterly beat could send the stock quickly to the mid to high 20s where it meets candle resistance and the 200-week moving average. There's the thesis for you. I will add as well, as I've been saying in the community, CPI is a big risk to a stock like this. Now, I'm leaning towards CPI is going to be light or in line, and we're not going to have a big problem with IWM, but we may. So you got to manage your risk. However you manage your risk, trades can go wrong. All right. One of our swing trades did go wrong this morning, ALAR. All right. So you got to manage that risk over there and do what you do. But most of our trades are working out. So let me just tell you on Snap, oh my gosh. It's like you see that cup and handle is forming 1729. Let's break out. If we break out of 1729, then we can head to 1790. But you know what's even more beautiful? Go to the weekly chart. Oh my gosh. If they get a fundamental beat, if you give a reason for this, what's the PS on this? 5.85 PE looks crazy. 100, but don't worry about that. It's actually valued very cheaply compared to in terms of the users they have. If you look at market cap versus users or different metrics like that compared to like a Meta, this thing's actually very, very cheap. All right. They just need to monetize this and accelerate their growth, which they're on the track to doing. So because last quarter was good, I'm anticipating this move that we talked about, ER anticipation, but we don't know what ER is going to bring. So I will definitely take some off the table before the earnings release. Rhett, what do you think of this Snap chart? and the thesis here?
I mean, I love it. It's looking beautiful, and I mean, it's setting up just like a story trade. So I love it, and look forward to playing it.
Let's see what happens. You never know what happens with CPI tomorrow. And I'm not going to go through the whole thesis, but this mu is just raring to break out. This is our largest position in our model portfolio. It was my largest position in my retirement account until last night when I made a whole bunch of changes. And I made sure that air became my largest position. So now it's air followed by Micron. Rhett, any last words, and let people know about the Discord community, how they can get involved, how it works?
Yeah, of course.
To Rhett now. Sounds
good. So yeah, guys, you guys can get involved by just heading on over to storytrading.com/discord, and there you'll see for you guys especially, we have a $99 a month plan we're offering right now. But on top of that, we're going to give you for the first month off 33%. So that promo code is going to be 33 off today.
33 off today, and I think that works. Today. Does that also work for the Godfather's Discord?
It does. So if you're coming from the Godfather, you also can use that for his as well. So look forward to see you guys in the room. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be there to help guide you guys through everything.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhett. What a glorious day. Let's leave you with this. Before you leave, hold on. We got to have this. We got to have this beautiful air over here. Unbelievable. This great prediction that we gave you yesterday, hitting the targets right on the button. We'll see you inside our story trading Discord community. Have a great day, everybody. And by the way, we do a show every single morning, 9 a.m. for our Discord users. Take care.